Hello everybody, Flik here. It's time for yet another Let's Look At, and today we are taking a look at Westerado Double Barreled. This is a game by Ostrich Banditos and published by Adult Swim Games, who I've covered a number of games for in this series over the course of its lifetime, which is a long time actually. But anyway, while you listen to the badass Western music in the background, I'll kind of set the scene about what this game is. It's a game about revenge, very typical Western kind of theme there. You play as someone whose family is sadly murdered, and you're tasked with discovering the identity of and, getting revenge upon the person responsible. And the person responsible, their appearance at least, is randomised, so you have to work at working out who it is by finding clues and then eventually making hopefully an educated guess and seeing that through, while at the same time maybe or maybe not caring about some of the other factions kind of vying for your assistance in the world of Westerado. So I have already finished the game. My first file here, I finished it. I explored 115% of the game, because that is actually possible, and it took me just under 2 hours. I did not see and finish every quest, however. I just kind of got a little bit lucky. I didn't have all the information about who the killer was, but I had enough that I felt an educated guess was good enough to do, and I happened to be right. So I triggered like the ending, or the final showdown, as it were. So yeah, you can get through it quite quickly, even quicker than that if you're willing to make a guess, although there are penalties for getting stuff wrong, as we'll get into. I'll make a new file though, and I'll actually play through the tutorial, and there is other characters to play as. I assume you have to unlock each in turn. I think I can guess who the other two are, but I'm not going to say. So we'll play as Hero, and we will not skip the tutorial. We'll let it play this time, because I love the atmosphere of it actually, to be honest. And as you can see, if you do skip, you can also enable co-op to have someone else play as your friend, and you can also activate Iron Man, so if you screw up really bad and get yourself killed, save file's done. You get the bad ending, you're dead. But yeah, we'll let the tutorial play just so I don't spoil too much of the game. So we will start with our family still alive, and as you can see here, WASD to walk. I'm using the keyboard for basically everything. And also let me just resituate my hands on the keyboard for the other keys I'll require. So this is what the game looks like. Almost like indie game stereotype number one really is this visual style, isn't it? If you're not into this visual style, I would say look past it, because this game has a lot of interesting stuff going on with it. I love the whodunit mechanic. But anyway, good morning son, come talk to me, I've got something for you. So we'll talk to her with E, and then it does this kind of like film reel. This isn't that important yet, but it will get more important. So anyway, I don't think I want to read out all the dialogue, but she's just saying her brother wants help rounding up the cattle. And we can either be difficult or agree to help. I like that it's, I'll help him, instead of like, yes, I'll help him. So yes, I won't be going through all the dialogue until it's important. Also excuse the dog barking in the background. So we come down here, we can see our brother there firing at the bottles on the shelf on the left there. You're not going to fire anymore? No? What if I was to stand here? And the shooting mechanic we'll get into, it's actually very, very important for the game. So let's talk to our brother. He's going to say that we're just going to round up the buffalo. And yeah, I'm ready. Follow me, let's herd some buffalo. So the visual style of the game I like. I think it's captured the feel of a Western pretty damn well actually. Anyway, we'll see you later, mother dearest. Probably not, given the setup that I already kind of spoiled, but this is the tutorial. This is what you skip after you've seen it once, but for the purposes of the video I'm letting you see it. So we need to get the... Oh yeah, by the way, everybody opens gates with guns in this. See? This is a press copy I'm playing just a few days before release. It does warn at the start that there might be some bugs. I had the game do an unexpected error while I was playing. It kind of just actually said, oh, we don't actually know what you just did, but something went wrong, please restart. So I did, and it was fine. There we go. And then one is going to bolt. Darn it, that buffalo went wild. Go catch him, I'll keep the rest of them in check. Will do. Although I almost chased the other one out there by accident. Get back here. And here we are with the intro. I'm actually going to be quiet for the intro because I love it sets the mood very nicely. So enjoy. I just realised the game seemed to be running at really low FPS at the end there. That's not what should have been happening, because we heard the sound effects for this scene before it played. That was very strange. I assume that will be something to do with me recording, or maybe I got a message on Skype or something. Either way, we heard the flames before we saw them there, but it should be fine once we're back into the game. Yeah, everything's fine. You know, apart from our family being dead, of course. So there's our mother already dead, and our brother here. I'm glad to see you. A bandit came out of nowhere, his gun blazing. I should have worn a hat, then I could have taken a shot. That's actually a reference to the mechanic of the game that we'll get into once we get started. He killed Mother, that bastard. I'm not going to make it either. Brother, you're the last one of us. Who did this to you? It all happened so sudden, I didn't see the murderer's face, but I know one thing for sure. As he stood over me in front of the flames, the only thing I could make out from the silhouette was his flat-brimmed hat. So this is already randomised his identity, because I've also had it being an edged hat or a long hat. Like, the first clue your brother gives you is not set in stone. So we know that he is wearing a flat-brimmed hat. Find Uncle to the east, he'll help avenge us. Please, brother, take my gun. Relieve me of my pain. So in other words, we press J to take the gun. Don't be afraid, it's better this way. Cock the gun with K. Thank you, brother. Find the murderer and avenge us. And there you have it. So just to go over what he was saying, we can walk around without our gun. We press J, we can bring the gun out. We press K to cock it, and then K to fire again, which we actually need to do to leave, because gates are opened by firearms. And press R to reload. You can see my bullets in the top left. You can also see 3 hats. That was what the brother was referencing there. If you have hats, you have hits before you die. If you have no hats, if you get hit, you die. And you will respawn at your uncle's place, which we're going to go to now. So yeah, we have our first clue, and as it's saying there, we can bring up our map and clues. So there's the map. This is the area you get to explore in Westerado. But if we press along here, this is what we know so far about the man who did this. So far we only know the type of hat. We don't know if it's got rims yet, we don't know if it's got what colour it is, what colour his belt is, what colour his trousers are, if he's fat, thin, etc. So we need to work this out by finding information, and people will not just freely give up information, we have to work for it. Then we can also go over to there. There's the buttons, although I've pretty much told you all of them, I think. But yeah, there they are. And we will get some quests as well once we're in town. But let's quickly do this bit with the uncle here, just visit the uncle. And he kind of sets us on our task of going to the nearby town and suggests a couple of leads we might want to look into. Nephew, that's you, come on in. I've locked the door, it's been noisy outside, you look terribly pale, come warm yourself by the stove and tell me what happened. So yes, as I say, we'll just kind of fast forward this, because he's just telling him that his mother and brother are murdered, and that you had to kill him, or, you know, end his suffering. So we have to sleep it off, and then get started. This is your respawn point if you do actually get yourself killed. And it saves your progress though, even if you do get yourself murdered. So where's our uncle? Outside? Yeah. So he will... Oh, well, we can read this out, I suppose. What that scumbag did was terrible. I'll help you find the murderer. To find the murderer, you've got to help people out around town. When they trust you, they'll be glad to give you information. By the way, there is also sometimes consequences of them giving you information. The murderer may learn, especially if you're loose-lipped, that you're trying to find him, and will start, you know, influencing people into not being able to tell you anything ever again. So we got a journal for quests as well. Go to Clintville rather, to the northeast. The sheriff or the saloon owner may be able to help you. Good luck out there. So now if we bring up the menu again, we have a new tab here, which is our ongoing quests, and we can page up and page down. The main quest being the murderer. Find the outlaw who killed your brother and mother. These NTS stations are fast travel, but I don't have any other places unlocked yet, so we'll just walk it. So that's you free into the world now to do what you please, as long as the end goal remains working out who killed your family. Do whatever it takes. There is kind of like there's an overarching theme of the world itself, where there's kind of like a rich oil baron at odds with buffalo ranchers. He wants to get oil out of the land, they want to save the buffalo, or, you know, profit off the buffalo. Then there's also Indians who want the buffalo free. Then there's also the military who want the Indians dead. And, you know, depending on who you side with, you might get help from them, you might not. But anyway, here we are in the main town here. Now we have a lot of NPCs walking around. There's a very high probability that one of these people walking around is actually the murderer. Now technically you could just go around shooting, I suppose, but that's really defeating the point of the game. It's supposed to be a mystery, and you're supposed to work for the information, not just take lucky guesses. If you turn the whole town against you, they will just keep on trying to kill you, I think. So there's the sheriff's office. But I want to show off a kind of, yeah, here we are, concerned wife. This is a side quest that we can do here that actually kind of shows off a fun mechanic of the game. So I want to do this one for sure, but then I'll try and cut down on spoilers a little bit while we walk around. Do you have a moment to spare? I could really use some help. Sure. My husband is a drunk, he never comes home, he spends all his money on booze, I need someone to bring him home. Isn't there a sheriff in this town for that? I'll see, I'll go get him. Thank goodness, just bring him to me once you get him. He is in the bar getting drunk. He's telling us how to run there by holding shift, as I've already been doing a little bit. So, where is the drunkard? I believe it's this guy here. You know what, fella, you never marry a woman, $5, etc. She asked me to bring you home. Well, who, my wife? What are you doing with my wife? Now, I'm going to cut a corner here. I tried to do this amicably when I was playing off camera. And amicably doesn't cut it with this guy. I'm going to draw my gun on him. Alright, I'll come along. Hold your horses. Alright, let's go. So the way you get him to follow you is to threaten him with your gun. And you can threaten anybody you talk to with your gun, and depending on their personality, they will have a different reaction. They may draw a gun on you, they may wet themselves, they may turn aggressive and start fighting you. So there we go, we helped the concerned wife. You got him, thank goodness, I could kiss you. So what's your story? My ranch was burned down and my family murdered. That's gosh damn terrible, hun. That lazy sheriff shouldn't let this kind of thing happen. I'll talk to that sad... I'll take you to that sad sack and give him a piece of my mind. So we did this, and actually she's going to make the sheriff be a bit more receptive to us actually needing help. Excuse me, you worthless pile. This man's been through something terrible and he still took the time to help me. Well, if he could fix it, ma'am, I guess it didn't really need me. You're such a waste. Make sure you help this boy. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, sheriff. There's also wanted posters. Oh. Never mind, it made me speak to him. What do you want, kid? Someone burned down my ranch, or I'm looking for the man who murdered my family. I'm going to see someone burned down my ranch. It's a downright shame, I tell you, but what you're talking about is 100 times worse than what that woman came in with. You think I'm going to stick my nose into this? I ain't going to go after him. I didn't mention him. And you aren't ready to handle someone who could do that. So you're able to handle a domestic quarrel. Sure, but look here, I know who did it, and his shadow's a lot longer than yours. All I can give you is a clue and point you in the direction of the folks who maybe can help you further. Few of those who have met him have survived, however I caught a glimpse. I'll never forget that terrible brown jacket. So now we know what colour jacket the guy's wearing. Your pants can be a different colour to your jacket though, so that isn't necessarily a big clue. Anyway, and he points us to another couple of people who may or may not be able to help, and as I was about to say, you can also earn the sheriff's respect by hunting down some people. So he's in Santa Ana. Is there anyone in this town that I could go after? Just to show you how that works. I don't want to go too far afield because that would spoil too much. So there might be another wanted sign out here actually. He's in the forest. Damn, there's no one just in the town. It's a lot easier when they're in the town. No. Alright. So now we do have more information, so if we were to bring up our little bit of information there, we know he's got a brown jacket. So the jacket on the picture on the left there is staying of the shades of brown, because there's light colours and dark colours for each colour something can be. So that's something else to watch for. I love actually, if you just watch NPCs, sometimes they'll just have a little conversation and one will pull a gun on the other for no reason. It'll happen again probably. Oh, he wants to fisticuffs. Let's talk to him. Hello stranger, do I know you? So you can basically accuse whoever you like. He's got a brown jacket and a small hat. It could be him, you know. I've never actually seen what happens if you shout, "It was you." Let's try it. What are you talking about? How's a friend of theirs? You look like their youngest. You would have been about 10 back then? I heard there's been an awful lot of fighting about the land these days. You might want to go check out the other ranches. I'll be keeping my eyes and ears peeled for you. So actually he sounds like an okay guy. Now he could be lying. I don't know. And as I say, if I wanted to, I could just pull my gun. Although when I pull my gun, so does the town. Look at that. Let's all just have a Mexican standoff. Everyone cool? Yeah? Alright. So I do actually know how to get another bit of information fairly quickly. And it takes absolutely no skill. You just have to be really bad at poker, which I am. So we're going to talk to these guys here. And we're going to play a game of cards. Just deal me a hand. I have no idea how to play cards. Texas Hold'em I think that is that they're playing. I'm just going to deal and I'm going to try and make sure I lose. And if you lose bad, they feel sorry for you and give you more information. I think if they win, or rather if you win, you probably would still get the info. 9-10 Jack Queen is good, right? Right? Let's do a check. So he raised his bet, and he folded. Let's go all in. All 20 of my dollars. And I want to throw away the 7. Discard that. Confirm. I think I just won. 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen. Oh wait, he won. Oh, I don't understand this game. Leave table. You do know how to play cards, haha. I'll hand you that. Oh wait, no, I did win. I got $50. Nice. You know, we heard you were after a man who murdered your family, and we just so happened to hear something about the murderer the other day. So whether you win or lose really, as long as it's one or the other, win really well, lose really badly, they'll give you information. The people who survived his attacks to tell the tale can contest that there was a medium-wide hat on his head. Isn't that curious? Medium-wide, that's very hard to parse. Is that the same size as mine, for instance? That's a lot less useful than the information he gave me in my first game. But still. Alright, so it is the length of hat I'm currently wearing, you can tell because of the way it's changing. Okay. So, I don't want to spoil too much more, to be honest. If I lose, I'll try and get into some combat to show you how combat works, actually. There's a side quest we can do up here. Just to show you how the hat mechanic works, because they are essentially your lives. So I think this lady here... You seem good with a gun. You murderer! So, well, you see, I was planning to pay my respects up north in the graveyard, however, some scary bandits are all over the place. Bandits are the generic enemy that will bug you while you do stuff. The preacher's left, it makes me sad, my dad lies there but I'm too scared to visit his grave. I'll go get rid of the bandits. Thank you, you're a real gentleman. I know I am. I try to be. What was that man doing to that horse? What did I just... Oi, don't walk away from me. What were you doing to that horse? Okay then. So, are these the bandits? No, these are innocents. They're in the actual graveyard. Speaking of which, the grave digger is a little weird. Good day, are you here to drop off some boots? I'm a collector after all. I'm looking for a murderer. Ah, I do make a living off the dead, but so far I don't usually cause it. But I never stare a gift corpse in the worms, nor question he who brings it. I don't want to be counting worms myself if you catch my drift. If you're in need of any body removals, I'm your undertaker. In other words, if you kill innocents and want to get back in the good books of people, you can, you know, have the body removed. But anyway, up here will be some bandits, and we're going to get into a gunfight. I'll probably have to do things quite quick, so bear with me. Where are the bandits? There they are. Just double me. Yeah, they're called bandit. Alright, well. Gun drawn. Gun cocked. Combat begins. And as I say, I'm going to have to concentrate. So, oh, he was trying to throw a bullet at me. That makes you stunned. Sometimes when you knock an enemy's hat off, they will panic and simply leave. Oh. Gotcha. If I knock their hats off, by the way, I can claim them for my own to restore my lives, essentially. Gotcha. I really love the combat in this. It took me a little bit to get the hang of it. So there's some cash. Did any of them drop their hat? No. Not that I got hit anyway. Also, I think there's a joke grave here somewhere. Where is it? East Flintwood, that's the one. So that's the... Yeah, Niels Herc. That's her father's gravestone. So if we go back here and talk to her, we'll get a reward. I can't remember if she gives you any information, but we helped her out and it gives you a taste of combat as well. The first time I took on that fight, I died. It took me a little bit, as I said, to get used to the combat, but once you do it, it's very satisfying. Nice to see you again. Is the graveyard safe? I got rid of the graveyard bandits. Thank you so much. You're a true hero. I can finally see my father's grave. I heard you're a lone survivor of a ranch that was burned. I heard a man talk about the outlaw who did it. He wears a dark brown belt with a big silver belt buckle. That's actually 2 bits of information. That's very handy. Thank you. Yeah, the belt isn't changing now. We know exactly what kind of belt he has. Alright. I kind of want to look around town and see if I can see anybody who kind of fits that appearance, and we'll end that video with kind of like me accusing someone, shall we? How do I feel about Westerado? By the way, I don't know what price it's going to be, but I was kind of looking around on the Twitter of Adult Swim Games, and I think it's going to be 20% off on its first week when it was released on Steam on the 16th of April. You'll be seeing this a couple of days before, I believe. And the full price is going to be $14.99 in dollars, but that's the dollar price. We don't know what weight the guy is. No, that hat's too small, actually. Do I recommend it? Well, that means it's going to be like, what, $9.99 in pounds? 2 hours to finish the game. It encourages repeat plays because you won't be able to see all the side quests in one play, especially if you pick a side. And there's other characters to play as who play differently. It could be him. What kind of belt was it again? No, it has to have a big buckle. It's not him. He could also be in the other kind of major town area in the game. Doesn't necessarily have to be here. I'm not seeing anybody who kind of leaps out at me as matching the facts I know so far. Try zone out and zone in. Yeah, it's a fun whodunit. Oh, now hang on. Him up there. Oh wait, no, wrong type of belt. What about you, good sir? That's not a big belt, that's a small belt. You need a belt that's my size, so it's like 2 rows of pixels. Oh. No, not you. No, I'm not spotting anyone that's close enough to the description I have. Let's have a look in the bar actually again. Him up there, no. Wrong size of belt, wrong size of hat. Oh, hang on. No, wrong size of hat as well. It is possible, by the way, that the game just hides the killer before you get, say, 5 or 6 pieces of information. I'd like to think that you could get it right really early. That's the wrong size of belt, otherwise he would be a suspect. It was definitely big belt, right? Yeah, definitely. He could also be hiding in the other town, which is a bit hard to get to first. You have to run through a very dangerous desert, and wildlife can also hurt you and take away your poor hats. Do we know for a fact it's silver? Yeah, dark brown belt, silver. Definitely not him. Alright, one last place to check. I was so hoping that I would see somebody that matched close enough that I could do a guess and maybe even get it right. But you'd be missing out on so much if you guessed right early on. You honestly would. There's a lot of fun side quests and interesting ways to kind of influence the world. No, I'm not seeing anybody that jumps out. Alright, well I think that's going to do it for this little look at Westerado double-barreled. I'll put a link to the Steam store page in the description box below. It's out on the 16th of April. If you get it on the first week, I do think there is a discount of sorts. I'm not sure how much it is at present. No, he's not going to match. Right, one last look around the town. Anyone at all? Anyone at all? Nope. Alright. That's the wrong type of hat. Yep. Alright. I'm going to say that he's not here. I hope you enjoyed. Do consider leaving a like if you want to show your support to me or the developer. And consider giving this one a look. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I played it through. And I'm still eager to see some of the other stories that I didn't actually see because I found the murderer. But yeah, Westerado double-barreled. Thank you for watching, and until next time, my name has been Flik, and ta-ta for now.